Mentioned earlier on, we cross live to my co-presenter Stephen Grootes. Now he takes an in-depth look at the plight of the homeless not far from the SABC in Auckland Park on a chilly night. Stephen, how is it looking out there?
Tsepiso, thank you very much indeed. This is Johannesburg by night, one of the richest cities in Africa, possibly the home of the richest square mile in Africa, just a few kilometers up the road. We're literally 200 meters away from Auckland Park, and where we are now is on the streets of Johannesburg in the middle of Youth Month, looking at people who are largely ignored by society. These are people that you will see on a daily basis. You might drive past them, you might walk past them. The question, of course, is why as a society do we ignore them, and where do they come from? It's Youth Month this month. Many of the people that we're talking about are very young. Almost all of them, you'll find, are possibly under the age of 30. But every single one of these people has a human story. Everyone is from somewhere. How did they get here? What happened? What do they really want to do? And if they could get out of this particular street, what will happen? It's going to be 3 degrees here later in about 6 hours' time. That's the temperature. That's the lowest the temperature is forecast for tonight. And yet these people are people who brave their lives on the streets on a daily basis. You're going to meet them tonight. You're going to hear their stories. And this is the kind of thing that is almost unique in its coverage. That is what you're going to be seeing and hearing for the next hour here on The Full View. Let me take my seat and join the people who have been brave enough to talk to us. And Thomas, Mpho, Jabu, Sibusiso, I would like to start by saying thank you so much for agreeing to speak to us. I understand why you've asked that you will keep your faces covered. We're happy to respect that, and thank you very much indeed for joining us. Thomas, let me start with you. Firstly, where are you actually from? Did you grow up in Johannesburg or did you grow up somewhere else?
I grew up in Soweto.
And where in Soweto?
In Soweto, in Zondi.
Sorry?
Zondi.
Zondi.
Yes.
Okay. And you don't mind people seeing who you are, but you grew up, and then how did you end up living here?
I'm starting to be addicted in something that I smoke. Then I tried to come here to earn some living for me, to make some smaller changes to get
more.
Yes.
Will you tell me what it is that you smoke?
It's a
Nyaupe. And I mean, in Soweto, where you're from, who's there? Is your family there? Do you know where your family are at the moment?
Yes, I stay with my grandmother and my 2 sisters. They are staying with they are looking after my grandmother. Even me, every Friday I go that side.
So you go there once a week?
Yes, every Friday I come back Sunday.
Okay.
Yes.
So you go home only for the weekend, and then you spend the rest of your week on this street here?
Yes, to make some money.
I mean, it's just one of the stories that you're going to hear tonight. Mpho, I mean, it's been, how long have you been living here for?
For 4 years.
For 4 years?
Yes, sir.
In this particular stretch, or do you move around?
No, I move around.
Okay. And why do you come to this particular stretch? It seems to be very busy. It seems to be very cold. What happens here that makes you come back here?
No, what draws me here is there's a lot of people, so I can get help, and a lot of things are easier to get, like clothes, food, all of the things.
So, in other words, it's the people who walk past?
Yeah, the people that I come through.
And do you find that people actually, I mean, do they do that? Do they help?
Most of them, not all of them, but most.
Okay. And where do you originally come from?
I originally come from Soweto.
Where in Soweto?
White City, a place called White City.
White City, okay. And how did you come here? It's not very far away, but why did you leave White City?
It was because of the circumstances of suffering, having less money. Obviously, I didn't want to end up robbing people and asking too much. I ended up being a burden.
And who were you living with in Soweto? Did you have a mother and a father who you were able to live with?
No, I don't have my biological parents, but I live with my grandparents at the moment.
Do you know what happened to your parents?
I know of my mom. My mom passed away while I was in grade 12.
In grade 12?
Yes, sir.
So were you writing matric at the time?
Yeah, I was writing my preliminaries.
Will you tell me what school you were at, or do you prefer not to?
I was in Riashoma Protein.
And I mean, when you were studying matric, what is it that you wanted to do? I mean, you're doing various subjects. What subjects did you like?
No, my favorite subject was geography and history.
Geography and history?
Yes, sir.
And if you could, would you study those further?
I could. That was my ambition, because for the last 6 years, the past 6 years, I was at the UK. I was trying to do a study of marketing.
And what happened there?
Then I met the wrong crew. I end up doing the wrong shit, the wrong stuff, boozing, drugging, partying, all of that shit.
It is in some ways sensitive topics that we are going to be discussing tonight, and some of the language that you might hear might be language you don't hear on everyday television. So you come here, I mean, UJ is not very far away. You must see UJ students every day here.
Yeah, I meet most of the students that I used to go to class with. The reason is that they also lend a hand every day. That's why I came around here.
Sibusiso, where are you from? Where did you originally grow up?
Oh, me, I'm from Val, Sebokeng.
From Sebokeng?
Yes.
And how long did you live there for?
I was born there.
Okay.
Yes.
And when did you come here?
Yeah, maybe I come here 2009.
2009.
Yes.
So you've been living here 10 years.
Yes.
In this area of street.
Yes, but not just like 10 years fully, because I usually go there by home, maybe spend maybe a year or two or months, then come back. You see, just like that. You see. Yes.
Why do you come home and then come back?
Because here in Joburg, this side, there's a living, of course, you see. Because that side there, that side is difficult. Because, you see, that side, the boys who are living there by that side, they doing wrong things, you see. Just like they mang people, you see, for a living, you see, just to get something to eat, or they do something wrong, they sell ganja, drugs, you see. Me, I was working with a train. I was selling vegetables and something and fruits. And then one day there at Park Station, they robbed me. They took all of my money, all of my stock. Then I went up having nothing, you see. And there to go here, from here to Val is very far, and I need money to go there. I needed money to go there, you see. So I ended up here in the streets, my boss.
So do you think then if people hadn't robbed your vegetable stand, I mean, what you were doing there, you were doing that on a daily basis, you were able to make a living for yourself, you were doing something for yourself and for other people?
Yes, I was making a living, because at the end of the day I was getting something. Even though those vegetables was not mine, you see, because I was working for someone.
Yeah.
You see, I ended up going scared to go back and face that person, to tell him that the vegetables are robbed, they've taken them, you see, boss. Then I realized that I mustn't go back there, because that guy is very dangerous. He might kill me because I don't have his money.
Sure.
I tried to have something that I maybe go back to give this guy, but it doesn't get along, my boss, because I have to eat. When I get something, I have to eat, I have to buy cosmetics, I have to do this and that, you see. But here in the streets, these people, others they do help us, others they don't help us, you see.
And I mean, you must have been scared for your life when the vegetables were taken. You actually couldn't go back to your boss to tell him what had happened. I mean, that's incredible.
Yes. I was scared to go back there, because my boss was a very, very bad guy, you see. That guy was in prison for 20 years. Then he came out in prison. He organized some boys to go sell for him vegetables and fruits, so that he must get a living. so that, and even us too must get a living, you see. But here, I arrived here in Johannesburg, they took all those vegetables and all those fruits and all of that money. I couldn't go back there and face that guy because that guy is a very dangerous guy. He always told us that, my boys, please do not do any mistakes, you see, with my money or with my vegetables, you see, because I don't want to end up going back to the shade, you see, because these things I work for them, you see. And if I give you something to go and sell, you must come back with the money. Me, I'm gonna give you that I'm giving you, you see, boss.
And I mean, the community that you're from, your mom and your mother and father, do you know where they are?
Yes, I do know my mother and I do know my father, but not my real father. Yes.
Do you know where they are? Do they know where you are?
Yes, they know that I'm here in Joburg, but they didn't know the site where I am. But they know that I'm here in Joburg. Yes. Because I usually phone my mother where and there if I get some money.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you miss them?
Yes, I do. I really miss them. I do, because those are my family. There's no place like home. Even I'm staying here in the street. You see, I remember back there home. I miss them, sure.
Jabu, sitting on the end.
Yes, big boss.
I hope you can hear me because I mean the traffic here is very...
I can hear you very well, boss.
So where are you from?
I would like to thank you for the opportunity first. I'm from Grasmere, Matsatseni. Yes, Matsatseni. Yes, Grasmere.
And how did you come here?
Here, because, to that side in the location there in Grasmere, you know Grasmere, how it's like that side especially. So it's like, Grasmere is, yes, you see the people there, they still, there's no living other than working. You see, me, I can't stay because I was working at Woolworths and Pick n Pay, and that one there's a shop in Branded Feet there by China Mall, Main Reef Road. JNB, you see the garage change, that one for Honda. Next to it, there was a shop there, Branded Feet. I used to work there. But now, you see, when I lost the job now, because even that job wasn't like a straight job. It was like sometimes they call us, sometimes, but they did call us maybe like a year, maybe gonna call us 8 months. But you see, staying at home there at that location, is not ish. I couldn't because I was working. Because now I will end up stealing, getting that influence to stay in the location. You see, you end up with that mind of, you see, because you don't have money and I smoke ganja. I can't always ask for my mom or what, you see. That's why I end up coming here. So let me start maybe and hustle and you see. When I came here, I found out people at least they made a living. I can make a living by spread and you see, without depending on my mom or what, end up stealing or what, you see. Yes.
So if I can ask the four of you, I mean, you live here, you see everything that happens here. What is it like at night? It's getting dark now, and Thomas, let me start by asking, it's going to get cold. I mean, what happens here at night?
It's become cold. It's become cold at night. Become very cold, and in the morning, it's the thing that I will tell you that day.
Are you able to sleep when it gets that cold?
No, because we got a small blanket. We don't have enough blankets.
And where these blankets that you have, where did they come from? Did someone give them to you?
Yes, they give us in the robot where we spin. They give us, and even clothes and food. Others they give us. Others they refuse. They think they will never wear it. But others they give us.
And I mean, this area, so you've all said that people here, you come here because there's money, because people will give you something, or some people will. But why this stretch of street? What is it about this stretch of street?
No, because it's not exactly this area. It's like people You see, it depends, people. You see, everywhere people where you ask, you see posts, they give, you see people. Just that, I don't know, here people, they are not like the other side. You see, yes, the other side, like people, they are too chargy, what, and besides, they have been like someone did steal for him or what. You see, they teach too much crime. You see, now people obvious they're gonna be scared of someone is living in the street and giving. You see, now that's why people they keep and you see, we will see that we hear us. We make sure that people they don't come and rob someone here while we are here. You see, we can't come in and rob someone here. Or
It's like
you
we are
see,
a community
you
forum.
see,
Yeah.
we must look after. We eat here, isn't it right? We sleep here. These people they give us these blankets for you. Like you are asking now the question that is cold. It's really cold in winter. Maybe some people that are staying at home they can't survive. You see, the cold is really cold. So I don't want to lie. Sometimes they this one blanket and top the one that you wear that one. When it's like after 12 night, when you wake up, it's wet. Like someone came and poured water.
All right, we're going to leave it there for a moment. This is a special broadcast of The Full View. We're live tonight from the streets of Johannesburg, looking at the young people who are homeless living on our streets, a community often ignored. Stay with us, more to come.